Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Hope all is well. Welcome to the first ever podcast at the Lawrence Cable Access TV station in Lawrence, Massachusetts. This is the Essex County Ghost Project Paranormal News Hour show, which will be one of the many shows being featured out of the podcasting studio. It's brand new. We're all excited. I have the dream team of paranormal investigators with us tonight. Say hi, Cathi.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
And Sara, my case manager.
Hi.
See, we're having a good time already. Aren't we having fun?
A blast.
We're all excited to be here tonight. Wow, this is something new. So if something goes wrong tonight, we can blame it on the spirits of the building.
Okay.
Because none of us have ever done this before, so this is going to be a blast. So I want to make a couple quick things that have been going on in the paranormal. We just started a new year now, which is excellent. New year means new things and exciting things of old. And we have something very exciting going on. I'm very happy to announce the Parafest. We'll go through that real quick, and then we're going to get into what's in the news and something that happened along the way. I got word of it recently in Havel, not New Hampshire, Massachusetts, in the Canosa Triangle.
Ooh.
So we'll be talking about that tonight, too. I'm very excited. So the Parafest is going to run. You know, it gets tough as you get older. Don't get older, folks, because if you do, you start seeing things in three dimensionals. Parafest starts April 10th, 2022, and runs all the way to Tuesday, April 26th, 2022. And we're going to be going to a lot of different places, and I will be securing down maybe one or two new locations real soon. I'm very excited about that. I think all of us sitting at this table are going to be excited when this is finally up and running and fully going the way it's supposed to be going. Because I know I'm going to be excited about this. So we got a lot of different groups coming in. We have Debbie Perkins coming from Maine, one of the big Essex County followers. Well known. She's going to talk about Hollywood and the paranormal. Dina Pelzanini, she was on Finding Bigfoot, Little Rhodey. She will be with us talking about Rhode Island Bigfoot. World-renowned famous demonologist Carl Johnson, part of the famous Carl and Keith Johnson brothers. They've been demonologists for years, since they were kids. They worked on many cases, including the famous Conjuring House in famous Harrisburg, Rhode Island. Dave McCullough from Massachusetts Bigfooting. He's going to talk about Massachusetts Bigfoot and Bigfoot sightings all over the great state of Massachusetts. Dave McCullough will be talking about that. And then we have Paulino. He worked with the famous Warrens, Ed and Lorraine Warren. He's going to talk about his years working with the Warrens and a very famous haunted site down in Connecticut, Bridgeport. Then we have, this guy doesn't need much of an introduction either, Tom D'Agostino. He's published about 18 books in the paranormal all over New England. He will be up talking. And you guys all remember where you met your best friends, right? Because I do. Usually in the baseball team, on the basketball court. Sometimes you meet them in cemeteries, maybe. Not these three people. They met on a UFO. Matt Moniz and Audrey Hewins, maybe her sister Debbie, may be coming down. They're going to be talking about UFO experiences. Mike Stevens will be talking about UFOs in New Hampshire area. He runs Granite Sky. And then we have Nate Brislin. He works at the International Cryptozoology Museum. Nate will be on, and he's going to be talking about the big cats of Maine. Connecticut Paranormal Research, one of the largest teams in Connecticut, a great team, great friends of Essex County Ghost Project. They will be there speaking. Kristen Evans of the Bridgewater Triangle fame. She'll be talking about the other side of the Bridgewater Triangle. Andrew Lake. He's going to talk about Paranormal Rhode Island. He's Greenville Paranormal. He's published many books and is well-versed in the Rhode Island field of the paranormal And Tim Weisberg. I haven't gotten confirmed what he'll be talking about, but he will be here. He's from Spooky South Coast and many other locations. Very spooky. And it's a great lineup. So that is April. Oops, I almost forgot to give the dates on that one. Oops. April 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. That's up in Maine at the Kittery Community Center. We're also going to be going at Hilldale Cemetery. We'll give you a date on that one, too, weather permitting, obviously. But we're going to run a separate ghost hunt at Hilldale Cemetery, weather permitting. We're also going to run a separate ghost hunt at the famous Dustin Garrison House in Haunted Haverhill, Massachusetts. And we're working on a couple other locations to do some ghosting at, and we'll have them announced real soon. We're very excited about this. It's been a very exciting year, and introducing and starting this new podcast is going to be great. You can check us out at LCAT TV and check out our show on Lawrence Cable or at HC Media. Cathi, who's with me, say hi, Cathi, again.
Hello again.
She's my co-host, and she'll be co-hosting this show with us in Lawrence. And hi, Sara. Say hi, Sara. She's my co-host in Haverhill, and we'll be helping out this show, too. We're going to try to run 3 hosts on this show on a regular basis. We're not sure if we're going to drop monthly or weekly yet, but we will be discussing it real soon. So I guess we're on video. That's fine. You got 2 people on tonight. That's awesome. Yep. Don't get old, folks. You start getting my age up in your 80s, you start falling apart. So let's avoid getting old real quick. So we're here to talk about some paranormal stuff, but I want to talk about something that happened weird. I got word, I forgot the date exactly, but it was less than a month ago. I got word that in the Canosa Triangle, and I got word from many people on this in Bradford and in Haverhill, that there was a low-flying object flying over the old Building 19, now Market Basket Plaza. Nobody knows where it went. It went over the river, and it looks like it disappeared. I made some phone calls the next day to people in the know. People in Haverhill. Made a lot of phone calls. And come to find out, we don't know what happened. Some people heard things floating over their house, thought it was a helicopter because it was so close to the Holy Family Haverhill. But we don't really know what's going on. But that happened in the Canosa Triangle. The Canosa Triangle goes from the Merrimack River out to Route 108, if you're familiar with Haverhill. That's a coin that was turned by the Essex County Ghost Project recently. When we were doing a talk, how this came about, we were asked to do a talk at the Haverhill Public Library over Halloween, and we did. And I'm looking for stuff to do with Haverhill, and I start pinning on a map private home cases, public events, public views of things that have been told to me, because there was UFO sightings in the 60s over that side of Haverhill where this one was recently seen, and they were told to me by reliable sources. So I firmly believe that there is another flap area or triangle in Haverhill. And it's pretty cool to see, to be honest with you. Sara, you have anything you want to add to that?
No, I'm just, I did hear about that and the fact that of a questioning helicopter or other. But again, it's the fact of the lights and just how odd it sounded.
Yeah, no, and
But it was enough to get everyone's attention.
it was.
In the area, so.
And we're trying to figure out where it came over. Where people saw it, it was on an angle. So I made some phone calls. I think it might have came from 108, the way it was explained to me, down towards Building 19 Plaza. But I made some phone calls around Haverhill, and some people thought it was a helicopter and just went back to bed. But they did hear it, so I got confirmation of people hearing things.
So they heard it too? It wasn't quiet.
No,
Okay.
no. I was told it was less than 50 feet, it looked like, from the top of the light post at Market Basket Plaza. So you take those big light posts that they have there.
Yep.
Whatever it was low, but
Yeah.
you can hear it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
I wish I could have seen that, but yeah. So that was interesting itself. So you have anything exciting happen with the paranormal since we last met, Cathi?
Not really. I feel like when it's cold and everyone has COVID, there isn't a whole lot going on. But I will tell you that I don't know. We talk about the veil being thin, right? You and I.
Yeah.
We still think it's thin, and I have noticed that when I go into certain people's homes or certain businesses, I am actually seeing shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why. And I don't know if I'm in a place where it's just good for me or the veil is thin, where I'm just a little more cognizant of it. But I have noticed some shadows in places that I've been in recently. In the last 2 or 3 weeks.
I'm wondering if it is because where it is winter and you're more aware of.
Well, you're inside.
You're thinking in terms of like the dark ages with it being dark and all the shadows around you.
Yeah.
What is that? And
right, exactly.
where this is what we do.
And that, it's weird for me because I'll see it right out of the corner of my eye.
Yes.
That movement. And you're right. We're inside and it's dark, so what is it? But I found the last 2-3 weeks,
business, yeah.
it's really been a little more activity, it seems like. And I don't know why. And these are new places that I've gone into.
Excellent.
So that's kind of cool.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
My chair's making all kinds of noises, folks. So if you hear a strange noise, it's my chair. Just FYI.
It's not paranormal?
Nope, it's not paranormal.
Okay.
I was trying to look for a list. A lot of times when people report UFO sightings, there's actually a list. I think it's on MUFON that you can go to, and it'll show you all the sightings locally.
Yes.
So I'm trying to find that list just to see what night was that, Tom, that UFO or that, and
I forgot the date. I wrote it down, but I can't remember what date. It was about maybe beginning of December.
Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna see if I can find that list and.
Beginning of December, maybe. So, Sarah, did you find anything great going on in the paranormal?
Actually, I was just trying to look that up too with the MUFON. There's just so many different sightings, and you can.
It is.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Did you find anything exciting going on in the paranormal?
locally, that's the highlight, it seems. So, which is pretty nice that we're in the news.
I know, huh? Yes, it is, huh?
But again, I do agree with Cathi in the fact that being more aware, noticing different things going out and about, be it seeing, hearing,
I
different
agree.
things.
It's weird too because you're always going on these. We go on these investigations and we're looking, and like you could be in your own home.
Exactly, that's just it. Not
in a
even out
store.
investigating. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And it's gonna happen.
Hey, you know where I want to go? I think it was Waltham. Someone told me today. Yeah, Waltham. We got to go grocery shopping in Waltham. I was talking to a Market Basket employee. They have some issues at the Waltham Market
Do we
Basket.
have another ghost in a market basket?
Yeah, I think it's Waltham. Was it Waltham that was in the news? Yeah.
Interesting.
How fun.
I know, isn't it?
And it doesn't have to be an old building. I think that's again a
Yes.
misconception.
Yes.
It doesn't. It can be a brand new building. It depends what was in that location and what was there. Or sometimes spirits linger from buildings that are torn down because that is
What's
they
in
know.
the area.
Yes.
And the idea of water carries energy and what it brings with, and even what people may bring in, I guess, as well, if you think of it that way.
What you got, Tom?
This is interesting. The government goes outrageous to disprove things. Our friends across the Great Divide okay, decided to stage a bogus Bigfoot sighting in Siberia. The Russian government admitted it was a snow job.
That's horrible.
That really just hurts what goes on in this field. And I don't like it at all. I mean, you can't be doing that. I mean, so many people have seen Bigfoots, it's not even funny. So I find this not good at all. It's not good for Bigfoot research. It sets everything back.
So what is it?
Russian officials admit staging a bogus Yeti sighting to attract tourists to Siberia.
Well, they could go to official researchers and say, where should we have people?
Right.
You know.
Someone took a picture of the bogus Bigfoot person dressed in a Yeti costume at Mount Zalenia
That's horrible.
in Shergish. I'm learning my Russian. That's pretty cool. I don't like the idea of them staging this stuff, though, because it takes away from this field.
You know, it does, but there are so many things that can counteract that. That, you know, I mean, everybody, there's good and bad in everything, right? And
Yeah. There is good and bad in everything we do.
Look at the Loch Ness Monster.
Yes. Been a lot of sightings this year. Have you checked out that new lock camera?
Oh my gosh, yes. I've seen that. Is hysterical. But it's only on one section of the lake.
That's what's so sad.
They need
But you have people that are so dedicated. That's what I love about that.
I know. It's true.
You know,
Isn't there a guy that has lived on the edge of that water for 60 years or something? And
why not just if you're reading through the list of what's been the time and the dates? It's, I know I've said it before on other shows that it's the same people, which is
right.
How, you know.
There's a woman who also Lake Champlain isn't that the one? There's a woman that's really dedicated to Champ as well.
Champion.
Just cracks me up. God bless him. I mean, we do investigations, but to be so dedicated to one cryptid like that.
That's just devotion and dedication.
I don't know if I could sit there that long and look at the water.
I go bug-eyed.
So what are you doing, Tom? How's things been going for you? You asked us, we're going to ask you.
Things have been going great. We've been super busy, making some big changes.
Ooh.
This year. It's 2022. So this year we're going to do more shows. I've already booked in one talk in Lawrence and actually got 3 more promise talks for October. Trails and Sales will be bigger than it's ever been.
Oh, we're already that far ahead. Wow.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep. Getting ahead pretty quickly. Parafest, there'll be some more breaking big news coming.
Awesome.
Essex County Ghost Project is extending its arm with all the calls we've been getting out of southern New Hampshire and the haunted Bridgewater Triangle, so I can spend a little more time researching up this way, especially the triangles we have right here, being the Ossipee Triangle, the Canosa Lake Triangle, and Cathy's new friend.
Who's my new friend?
The Sandown, New Hampshire Triangle.
Oh, yes. And I'm going to say I coined that phrase.
You did coin that phrase.
There is some crazy stuff that goes on up there in Sandown. And it really is very, triangular. Yeah, it's funny how near the depot, you've got even the town hall. I investigated the town hall in Sandown, and it was really cool. We had I've got some great video evidence, and some of the people that did the investigation with us, they got some wonderful photos. And actually, the video camera moved, and nobody was there, and I have it.
That's
moving.
great.
So, that's awesome. But behind the depot, going down the railroad tracks, going down there. I mean, we know for a fact that there were Indian encampments in that area. There's a big rock structure out there called Big Rock, and that lends itself to, again, your Native American cultures and things like that. There has to be something more. And I would love to go out and just do an investigation in those woods.
Mm.
You in, Tom?
I'm in. I'm definitely in.
Go team.
There's a there was a Bigfoot sighting in Illinois back January of this year, January 11th. And this was
So like
sent
2
over to
days
the
ago?
Yeah, 2 days ago. Yeah. It was also sighted back in November 2021 too, on north of Route 78 near the Sangamon River, leaving Chandlersville, Illinois. I've never been out to Illinois.
Is it flat?
I don't know, but I will tell you what, Illinois puts out some great stuff though.
I think when you live in those more remote,
right.
flat areas,
Yeah.
I really feel like your sightings can be so much better.
Oh yeah, they can
we've
be.
got trees and hills and everything here, and so, I just feel that'd be. I know when I was out in Wyoming, it just seemed like you could see forever,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really kind of cool.
Yeah, no, it's real interesting what happens out there. And in Chicago, there's a lot of great things that happen out there with Bigfoot, UFOs. The only thing that's never happened in Chicago is in the park. So, one of these days we'll have to get out to the parks of Chicago. Maybe go when it's the 4th of July.
Okay.
See what we can find out there. What's so funny?
Just thinking, you're talking Illinois and Chicago, and then you have St. Louis. That's a hodgepodge, just like around here. You have Mothman and owl creatures, and it's a long list. Again, being in New England,
right?
They have their own creatures.
I feel like New England with between. And we can go Salem witch trials. You can do Bridgewater Triangle. There is just this epicenter of all this crazy paranormal cryptid alien. Betty and Barney Hill. Yeah. Crazy paranormal, supernatural, cryptid, all this activity, and it's right in our backyard, and I think that's awesome. So yeah, it's we could say we've got something going on here. I'm actually looking at a map now of all these like sightings, and for UFOs, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sightings map. Portsmouth, Hampton, there's Havel right there. Sighting. It said kite-shaped craft hovering over residential area in Haverhill.
Yeah, I was told this wasn't a kite-shaped craft, but a round one.
This is, and honestly, some of these, can be a little bit older. Awkward silence. Everyone say something.
Yeah.
So we're all quickly trying to type in.
we're all looking for information.
No, and then of course here in the Merrimack Valley, there's been Bigfoot sightings all over the place, from Haverhill to Methuen to the Andovers to the Reddings, Ballard Vale, you name it. It's been around here for a while.
Even growing up, there's always those houses you go by when you're a kid, and you're like, that place is totally haunted, and
the whole vibe to it, yes.
Yeah, it does. It does. Like, we have the Garrison House in Chelmsford,
right?
And I always felt like when I was a little kid, and we'd always go on those field trips, man. You walk in there, and it's just you feel it.
There's places in Andover and Georgetown, Groveland, all around here.
And it's awesome. I know I'm doing, I actually am going on Monday. I'm going to do Dining with the Dead down in Sturbridge with my friend Cathi. We get a meal, so we'll be doing that, investigating a little bit down in Sturbridge Village.
Who's doing the Dining with the Dead?
Oh, gosh. Tom?
Tom D'Agostino?
Yeah.
Oh, tell him we said hi.
I will tell him you said hello. I'm very excited.
Oh, so you get to meet Tom finally.
I do. And thankfully they liked my page, so that's awesome.
You have another fan.
Fans are good.
Yeah.
So I'm looking on Facebook and someone's saying, okay, Caitlin, good job, Tom. You remembered your glasses. Bob is saying move the camera.
So we can see everybody. We can't on
And
this one.
Caitlin's saying take off the sweater. So I'm just throwing a few suggestions out there from the people online. See, we can do
What
this.
was supposed to be audio? Oh, well.
I think because it's on his Facebook page.
No, it's on the Lawrence page. Yeah,
On the
yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, that's hysterical.
They get some great photographs of the Wild Creek Cliff Crook back in 1995. The Wild Creek Bigfoot. They finally put some pictures up of him. Back in 1995, an off-duty forest ranger. I get these all the time from, this was in near Mount Rainier in Washington State,
Okay.
That's like something out of a movie.
which
I
is
can see the
based.
photo.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, wow. You guys can't see it, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, Mount Rainier pretty much. Mount Rainier is pretty much the epicenter of the Bigfoot world in Washington State. But even up here in Ossipee, in the Ossipee Triangle, it's the same thing that's happened over there. Ossipee is the epicenter, you could say, for Bigfoot sightings and a few other things.
There is so much space,
Yeah.
it's crazy. I mean, you just drive on the Kangabangas Highway and there are just, hundreds of thousands of acres of really some uncharted territory. And I still believe they slip away through portals. That's what I believe.
Oh, I think they do.
Bigfoot.
I can agree to that without a problem. I can totally agree to that.
But then what about the I think in terms of the predator creature, how they can hide in trees, but you can see an outline.
Exactly.
So, which is maybe an extension of the Bigfoot. I wouldn't know how to label that.
Right. It's funny because I've been hunting. I've gone with people when they've gone hunting. It is amazing, though, how those animals, how deer and moose and bear can honestly hide in plain sight. It's not a joke. They could be 15 feet away and you'd never see them.
Winter, whatever.
Yeah,
season,
because
yes.
the coats change color, right? So they blend in with the environment. I mean, I am sure that the Bigfoot, the Yeti is white when he's, on Mount Everest. It's always white because he's blending in with the snow. They're like chameleons, honestly.
Yeah, any of the northern countries, yeah. I agree.
It's so cool. It's just neat. They are epitomizing what nature is meant to do. I guarantee you not only the portal part of it, but just to be absolutely still and quiet. Yes, they say there's a smell when you're near one. Sometimes there's that guttural, I forget what it's called. Anyone can help us out here? It's like
that
a very
noise they make.
That guttural noise like lions make or big cats, things like that. But it resonates and it can actually mess up your hearing.
Right.
Because of the way it's because of how they can direct it. And it's really
you can't tell where exactly they are from what I've learning about it. I guess.
It's very vibrational. It kind of hits you at your core. I mean, sure, I would love to experience something like that. I'm just not sure how I
How exactly? Yeah, you want to do it, but how exactly really would you do? Would
how
you
brave
handle
am
it?
I really gonna be right now?
Right. There was a mysterious flying object sighted just the end of right before New Year's Eve, 0900 to 1930 hours. Date of sighting was 12/28/21 in Crestwood, Illinois. It was hovering over Crestwood, Illinois. It's still under investigation. The object was seen in 2 videos captured by UFO clearinghouse founder and investigators. And so they were out there and they caught the two, and they got their phones out and they videoed these things. That's pretty cool. That's called being at the right place at the right time. What do you think?
Definitely.
What do you think, Cathi? Right place, right time?
Well, and that isn't timing everything, even
It
when we're
is.
investigating the supernatural, right? I mean, how many times can you go into a location and it's so active that you can't even record all of the activity, and then you go back a month later and there's absolutely no activity. I mean, it is timing. And I think too, I mean, you talk about, I don't know whether there's that innate sense, whether it's instinctive like with animals to humans or even spirits to humans, but there are certain people that are triggers, and there is something about them that spirits are drawn to, whether it's an aura or something like that, or even cryptids can be drawn to,
Mm-hmm.
based on they call it animal magnetism. Well, it's that for a reason.
Yeah, I agree. But how many times or you go to the same place, and every time it's something different,
Right.
or someone else you bring with, something happens to
Right,
them
so-
that's never happened before.
Right. And that's
So,
exactly,
which is great.
It is, and that's why the same people sometimes, like if you have the same core group on an investigation every single time.
We've had that happen at the Hilldale Cemetery.
Right,
Right.
and sometimes just a person in the group that's never been, maybe
exactly.
that be that perfect trigger for whatever's going on that night.
Be it a medium, be it a child,
Correct.
It doesn't matter.
Yep.
Yeah, you never know where that's going to happen when you do public investigations.
It's true. I mean, I've seen an orb at Hilldale, myself and two of the people that were on one of them, and we're looking, and I'm like,
Yep.
Is that a flashlight? And then it just kind of faded away, and there was no one there, and it was so cool. I'm like, yay!
But it's a question: did anybody else see it, or was
It was
it just you?
myself and two other people. So that made me
You
not
have verification. You're not.
Yeah, I
nuts.
wasn't crazy. I mean, my kids may disagree, but I am not crazy.
Here's something interesting. Airline maintenance crew has encounter with multiple winged humanoids at O'Hare International Airport.
What? Again, Chicago.
December 30th, 2021 was the date of the sighting. Approximately 2,330 hours.
What
So
was the date?
December 30th, 2021.
Wow.
Because early in the month, I see a few things.
I was
with
working
Illinois.
this weekend, Thursday, 12/30/2021. In American, this is actually what's going on. American Airlines aircraft hangar, about 11:30 at night. I was outside with 3 other individuals, and we were in the process of bringing a 777 to 200 into the hangar. Whatever that is, must be a plane. To get some maintenance done on one of the engines. This was a routine that we did almost daily on a variety of planes at this particular hangar. As we were hooking up the plane to tug to move it and communicating with each other, when I looked up and saw 3 large black creatures hovering over the parking lot. They were about 7 feet tall each. They were just staring right at us. I yelled at one of the guys, and he told the other guy, and all 3 of us were watching this thing go straight as these things, when one of them opens what looks like a large black wing, shoots off into the sky, followed by the others. The 3 making this sort of screeching sound as they took off. A few seconds later, a security vehicle came up, screaming up through the driveway, and stops, and somewhat chubby security person runs out with his flashlight and starts checking the area. He's shortly joined by 3 others in trucks and a couple of supervisors. Long story short, They were told not to talk about it by the supervisors.
Of course not.
Just like pilots that saw UFOs weren't allowed to talk about it. Astronauts still, because of security clearance, can't talk about it.
Still logged. It's just finding it. So
But remember, the good news. They declassified the UFOs.
Hey, I don't really. I'm not going to call that a declassification.
I'll call it a joke
It was just-
declassification.
It was just like a scribbling. It was just a scribble out. That's it.
There was only 165 official sightings since the 60s.
Yeah, that's poo.
Can you believe that one? Well, I can't.
but if you can have pilots that are actually talking about what they've seen, then a little bit more to the story.
I don't know if you watched Project Blue Book, which was actually a government program, and there was a series on TV. They did a really good job, and sure, the stories that they portrayed were just had some variations on the actual events. I'm sure they couldn't duplicate them for reasons, government reasons, but. If you have a chance, if anyone has a chance, go look up Project Blue Book, and watch this. It was 3 seasons, but it was excellent, and I don't know. Have you ever heard of it, Tom? You had to have.
Yeah, I've heard of the Blue Book. I never watched the series, but I've heard about it.
It was amazing, and the actor that they got to portray was phenomenal, and looks just like the guy that was actually the head of it.
Interesting.
17 years actually, 1952 to 1969.
Oh, that's interesting.
And his name was Alan Hynek. He was the doctor. And the reason they brought him in, they wanted him to kind of debunk everything scientifically. And he couldn't.
I was just going to ask how
he couldn't do it. And sure, there's some of them you can, right? I mean, there really are things like swamp gases, certain phenomena with clouds in the sky and things like that. But it was a great series. So if anyone has a chance, watch it. Give you something to watch when you're bored this winter because you got 2 months of staying in the house still. Minimum.
Or however long we're supposed to stay inside.
Minimum. And from COVID. So, give you something to do.
Interesting, folks. Do you have anything else you would like to talk about there, Sarah?
Oh, boy. No, just as I said, started to say, with you were looking in these different states. A lot of around Christmas time, it seems there was a lot of Bigfoot sightings as people were going out cutting trees. Talking what you were saying with Illinois and Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Some of the 7 states that tend to have the most sightings is where they are happening.
That's excellent.
So.
That's an excellent.
But that's
excellent.
how ironic is that? You're cutting down a tree and a tree's getting thrown at you. Is that karma or?
That sounds like karma to me.
Oh my gosh.
And what happens if the tree that it's thrown at you is bigger than what you need for your house?
Right.
Doesn't work out.
No.
Oh my gosh, that is
Which is
so
sad because
funny.
that's one story I did hear. A kid and his parents are cutting down a tree. It's thrown right over a kid's head and landed on top of the van. So the father had to take it off and then proceed to put the one that they cut down onto the truck, and they hightailed it out.
That's awesome. Yeah, and you're right. Like Pennsylvania, Virginia, you think of all these states, even parts of New York that have
Was it Michigan? And
that's pretty cool.
So that was something fun that I was reading about earlier.
Interesting, folks. Interesting. Yeah, no, it's going to be an interesting year this year. I can
Oh, yeah.
already see that
I
coming.
really think it is. I really feel like this year. I mean, with between the Parafest and just really getting, I think a lot of people now are going to start. Last year we were hoping we could get outside. I think a lot of people did. Subsequently, people got sick again. I think this year people are going to be like screaming to get outside because it's just been insane having to stay inside, and we got to do something. Oh, by the way, another show on TV, which I love. Has anyone seen Ghosts, the new comedy?
I started watching that. That's right.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh my gosh, if you ever have the chance, watch Ghosts. It's a new sitcom. I think it's on NBC, ABC. Oh, maybe CBS. I don't know.
One of the major stations.
One of the major ones. But it's called Ghosts, and it is hysterical. But you got to watch it from the beginning to get the background on all the ghosts in the house.
So much fun. After a stressful day, binge on,
Oh my gosh.
binge on a few episodes. It's excellent.
Oh, I get a chuckle every time I watch it. I'm like, I literally bust out laughing at some of it.
Absolutely.
It's so good. Very well done. Kudos to whoever decided.
And the timing that it came out,
Oh, brilliant.
they couldn't have done any better.
Brilliant. You know, I know sometimes even when you mention you're a paranormal investigator to people or that you can see things or that you can sense things, people automatically are like, oh, okay, weirdo, right? So, but
Just wait until you're looking for that weirdo, though.
yeah,
when you need that weirdo.
and you know, and this kind of really is it's brilliant the way they portray her ability. So if you have a chance, definitely see it. So what else is going
great.
on, Tom?
That's about it.
Did you have a protein bar or anything?
I had plenty of protein bars and shakes today.
Okay.
It's just age is finally catching up to me.
Yeah.
Get you with the glasses like the rest of us.
Yeah, they
Look
captured
smart.
a goat-like mammal on camera. That was a mammal on camera. That was pretty cool.
Oh, Goat Man?
Yeah.
Ah,
Heard anything about them in a while.
I know. Kind of quiet.
Well, because I've been tied up with so many other things, I don't think we all get to catch up on things like we want to. You know?
You know, and once the Parafest starts and once we can get back out and investigate, I mean, the podcast will get more fun too.
Yes, it will. And we got some big plans for it this year. We just wanted to try this out, see it's going to work. I like the way it's working out.
I do too.
And I think it's going to be a great year.
Before you know it, Tom, Sarah and I won't need you at all.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Just kidding.
But it's great. You can pull in different guests and
I think that
don't have to be in studio.
Right,
This would be
right.
fun.
They found an elusive black cat in the Northumberland lands. Was seen. This cat was thought to be extinct, but the black cat of Tyndale.
Oh, that's exciting.
In England. Hasn't been seen. There had been periodic sightings since 1978 when the beast of Bodmere Moor, which gained notoriety around that time, was seen. But they thought this large black cat went extinct in England. Now all of a sudden it's showing up. Well, just like the large cats are here in New England. Everybody thought they went extinct. They didn't go extinct. They went sleeping. They're back. They have been seen all over the place.
Well, there's a bird in Australia, I believe, that only comes out at night. I was reading about that very few people have taken a photograph or seen it. That, again, it's almost came out of extinction. Excuse me.
There's a lot that's still to be discovered. I mean, you look at the
You should think of the woodpeckers that we had. Some of the ones that we thought was totally depleted. You can go walking out in the woods. You know, even where I live,
right,
all the different birds you especially in the winter that I'm not used to seeing.
I know it's
So all the creatures, as you said, that went quiet. are suddenly coming out.
So what else is going on, Tom?
Well, let's see what else is going on out there in this world. It was nice to see, everything going on. Oh, dinosaur embryo has been found inside a fossil egg.
Oh, that's cool.
Uh-oh. That can't be good at all.
I'm gonna start playing the
I can see
music from
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
I can see a problem happening. I can see a big problem happening. Oh, down in the Bridgewater Triangle.
Ooh.
A rare Stellar sea eagle has last seen on 12/20/21 perched near Dighton Rock, north over the Bridgewater Triangle.
Oh, you didn't hear about that? That was all over the news.
Let's see,
People going out to
December
try and get
25th?
pictures,
No,
yeah.
I missed that one.
Oh, beautiful.
Did you go down?
I saw plenty of stuff on the news and online, so
Yeah.
it's just a beautiful bird.
They did find an ichthyosaur in England, 32 feet in length, and it's one of the most well-preserved fossils of the creature. It was discovered in a reservoir. Just came out in the news. It was supposed to be just a routine maintenance at a British nature reserve, and it's a Jurassic megafind, they're calling it. That's kind of cool. 32 feet in length, 6-foot skull, weighing around 1 ton. And it lived 180 million years ago.
Wow.
That's kind of cool.
That's very neat.
That's a small-weighted animal.
It's like insane.
I'd like to have one of those sit on me.
We probably have some of those out in California. Literally.
Yes.
So you never know, they could be digging some up as we speak.
Mm-hmm. Memorial Day, there was a Bigfoot video seen last Memorial Day. That's pretty cool.
What, is that something being re-released? Or?
Yeah.
And there was a skeleton with a prosthetic eye discovered. The exciting things, nobody remove the eye, because who knows what will happen in 22.
Prosthetic eye? Huh?
Yep, it was made out of, I was reading about it. It's a bit of an old story, but the eye was made from 4,800 old eye, artificial eye. It was made with tar, animal fat, and it was in her eye socket. That's kind of cool.
Wow.
Hmm.
I would think in Egypt they'd be even more creative with the different
Yeah.
materials that they have. Wow. That is fun.
Yeah, no, that is real interesting, folks. It's been an exciting night so far here.
We're bringing you all kinds
The
of
stuff here
We're just
on the
throwing
Essex
it and
County,
seeing what sticks, folks.
on the Paranormal News Hour podcast show, which we'll give you a better time and date as we get moving with this.
Just call me Crazy Cathi.
We got awesome Cathi, we got smiling Sara, and we got the shyest guy in the world, me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nope.
Sure.
And we're over here bringing you all the cryptid news and ghost stories and everything else. And we're going to keep working on this, making this stronger and bigger. And we'll keep going year after year after year.
So we got about 10 minutes
10
left,
minutes
folks.
left, folks. That's great news. Well, not great news. That's kind of sad. Hey, did you know something?
What?
This is about Bigfoot.
Okay.
Not so much Bigfoot around here, but out in the North Pole.
Oh.
They're called the abominable snowmen.
What color is his fur? Is it
That would
white?
be white with sharp teeth. You know what they eat?
I'm going to say seals.
Seals. Oh, they eat deer too.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
But there's one thing that abominable snowmen are afraid of. Anyone know what that is?
I'm going to go with a polar bear.
No, I'm going to go with water.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, with water.
That would make a lot of sense.
Because they wouldn't float.
True.
Mm-hmm. But they like reindeer.
Well, that makes sense. It's plentiful.
Mm-hmm. It is. It is. And that's what makes it interesting. They're
That's cool.
afraid.
I think this has been a good show. We kind of threw a hodgepodge of stuff out at people. But, this is going to be something that we can kind of fine tune, and maybe I do like specific segments. Like be like one cryptids, real good cryptid stuff one week, and alien stuff another week, and specific investigations as long as we can legitimately talk about them in public.
Right.
I'll give you a recap of my dining with the dead, because I'm sure a verbal recap isn't going to upset anybody.
They allow that, not those, because it's at a public restaurant.
Correct.
And of course, when you do it at a restaurant, a dining with the dead, everybody wants to know what happened so they can go to the restaurant. So
right.
yeah,
we are getting a really cool colonial meal down at Sturbridge, and then the investigation. We can bring our own stuff. I only got 2 tickets. I wasn't too sure because I wasn't sure how it was going to be. I'm bringing a friend of mine who does some investigating with me, and the 2 of us will go down there and see how it is. And if it turns out to be a good time, I would love to do more.
So you're bringing your own. They typically supply?
Yeah, they said we can bring our own, and they would also have some. And I think how you get used to your own equipment.
Yes.
It's kind of like using your
If
phone.
I do one of those, I'd rather bring my own equipment.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why I asked you.
Yeah, and they were perfectly fine with that. It was suggested, and
I know we're running close on time here, which is fine.
Probably about 5 minutes.
5 minutes or so left. But I think the next podcast show, we're going to talk about one of my favorite things to talk about. So anybody listening, or anybody that sees this podcast, keep tuned in, or you can Facebook me, you can message me, or you can call my top secret cell phone at 978-376-2807. Again, 978-376-2807.
It's a shoe phone.
It's a shoe phone, yeah. If you have a problem with the paranormal, you want us to come in, we'll come in and help you out. But what I want to talk about next time is one of my favorite things to talk about. I think I might even bring some stuff in.
What is that?
Show and tell.
Show and tell on the radio, on podcasting.
It can be done. We will make it happen.
We will. I think we'll talk about haunted objects.
Ooh,
we need to find somebody with haunted objects. Know anybody? Oh.
All
a few.
Us. and folks, if you do have a haunted object, reach out to us. We'll have it on the show.
Yeah, and if you want your haunted object removed, reach out to us.
We'll remove it.
I have a top secret location that I keep all haunted objects safely in. So
thank you, Tom, for having me. This was kind of
fun. This was
definitely fun.
This was definitely a fun night. So keep an eye in the sky, because you never know what you're going to see.
Mm-hmm.
Keep an eye around the corner and watch out for those creepy, creepy locations. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We are tonight at the James R. Ross Studios at Lawrence Cable Access TV, having a great time with our brand new podcasting studio. So thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you soon in the paranormal.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.